The struggle between life and death. The winner lives, the loser dies. Boxing, one of the oldest sports, demands that its gladiators have no fear and are ready to risk their lives in the pursuit of wealth, fame, and recognition. It is therefore no surprise that most of the young men who turn to prize fighting come from poor families. The Philippines is no exception. Indeed, it's been the rule from the days of Pancho Villa, Seferino Garcia, and in more recent years, Gabriel Flash Elorbe. But of all the kids who sought to break away from the shackles of their childhood poverty, one name rings out: Manny Pacquiao, a young man who knows no fear. Manny's parents separated at a young age, and his mother Dionisia bore the burden of providing for her 6 children, 2 of them by a previous marriage. She ran a small sari-sari store, and her kids, including Manny, helped supplement their meager income by selling pandesal in the neighborhood. Manny was a good student, but his mother noticed that when he was in grade 5, he was getting interested in boxing. This upset her because she was hoping he would become a priest. But Manny knew there was no way his mother could pay for an education, and he made up his mind that his best chance would be to become a boxer. Dionisia relented.
I ultimately relented because I knew he was right about us being poor. I can sense his keen interest in boxing. He would wake us up at dawn and jog on his own to the plaza or the basketball court nearby. Then he'd start jabbing or punching the air.
At that time, Abner Cordero was a promising young amateur fighter from General Santos City, who made a name for himself battling boxers from the national team. Abner was trained by his father Dizon Cordero. After watching one of Abner's fights, Manny approached Dizon and asked him to train him, just like he trained his son.
Sensing his interest, I took him in. I was also glad to have Manny on board because I thought with Manny around, Abner would not slacken in his training. We would regularly train in my small house. I treated him as if he was one of my sons. I remember Manny at that time had no shoes. All he had was a pair of worn-out rubber slippers with holes. I was also poor then.
His poverty was not a drawback for Manny Pacquiao. It was his inspiration. He jogged barefooted at times, shadowboxed in a sandlot, but never complained. After 1 month of training, Dizon Cordero figured Manny was ready for his first bout. They traveled to Sarangani province for the fight. Dizon didn't know what to expect. Manny stunned him with a spectacular showing.
He KO'd his opponent in the first round. I was so thrilled, so happy to see all my efforts in training him and his dedication bearing fruit.
Under Dizon Cordero, Manny fought more than 30 times without losing a bout. He was that good because Dizon's philosophy was developing a power punch as the ultimate weapon. Soon, Manny left for Manila to try his luck. In a letter to his mother, Manny asked her not to worry about him, pointing out that he was surviving despite everything. He wrote, "Life is also difficult here. There are times when I eat rice only once a day." Dionisia was deeply touched by her son's letter.
I wept when I read his words. I wrote back and told him to persevere and bide his time. I implored him to be a good boy always and to pray. Since then, we were writing each other regularly. In one of his letters, I remember a happy one. This was before he became a professional boxer. He said he was doing fine and he had some good news. He found a job in a scrap metal factory somewhere in Taguig. He worked by scraping the rusts out of the recycled metals.
Mangiski siya ng mga taya sa bakal.
Now I can eat 3 times a day. I eat in a nearby carinderia. I can eat real food now because I have a salary to pay for it. He was earning 160 pesos a day.
Makapalit naman ko kananang ko sweldo, 160 batong adlaw niya.
Soon after, we wrote again. This time, even bigger news. Ma, thanks be to God, somebody took me in as a boxer and I'm training and fighting again. I'm in a boxing show on TV. It's called Blow by Blow.
Sugod na ko diri balboxing na ko diri. Nakarga na ko sa Blow by Blow mang.
He was going to call me long distance. When I finally got to talk to him, I excitedly said, Ma, watch my fight on TV tomorrow, December 25 sa Blow by Blow. I was so happy to hear his voice. He then told me to call him once a week because he terribly missed me. He was still very young then. He got so homesick. He said he was now staying with his tita Hora and that they had a phone. And I can now call and talk to him.
Kanaan naman kay gatag na ko nga kuan. Sige naman ko maka-long-distance sa imo basta naa naman ko number sa telephone ana.
Dionisia had no TV in their home. She had to go to a downtown appliance store with her other son to watch Manny fight on Blow by Blow. She was scared, but Manny won in 3 rounds. His mother was so thrilled and so proud. In June 1996, Manny returned to his hometown for a fight against Bert Patiller, more than 1 year after he began his pro career. This time, when he left, Dionisia wasn't so worried because Manny took along his neighbor and friend, Buboy Fernandez, to act as trainer and buddy. Manny's first 2 fights were 4-rounders held in Mindoro Occidental. He won them both on points. He then won a 6-rounder against undefeated Rocky Palma in Cavite before making his debut on the weekly boxing show Blow by Blow against Del Desierto on July 1, 1995.
Boxing has definitely come back in a big way.
Yes, definitely.
Sa ating bayan. Now, we've had some downs. Gaya po na nangyari nung lumaban si Morris East. Kay Robert Azuma. Oo, pero after that, mga kaibigan, it looks like we still have enough talent in our pro ranks to sustain the interest. Ito po si Pacquiao, now on the attack.
Wow! Pacquiao on the attack na solid po niya kanina. Si Desierto.
Desierto also fighting back. But Desierto now aiming at the midsection of Pacquiao.
Ayun, left. Dalawang sunod. Natamaan si Desierto, but he was able to come back. He is trying to come back.
And again, a combination from Pacquiao. And he sends Desierto reading against the ropes. Desierto is back in the corner. He's trapped. Desierto fighting out of the corner.
That's right. He was able to, he didn't stop fighting. Dahil he was stunned there.
Yes.
He was not hurt so much. He was able to fight back.
Well, Pacquiao is using that right hand now as a measuring device, but he has been able to connect with his left.
Yes.
Desierto also connected that time.
With an uppercut. Maganda. Fast and furious action from both these youngsters. There's another left.
Yes, a left to the jaw of Desierto.
All right, this time. Desierto doesn't know how to take a punch. He doesn't fall into his opponent. He doesn't clinch. He doesn't cover up.
Well, Pacquiao has been able to really pinpoint his target here in this round.
That's right. And Desierto trying to come back to score on his own. Medyo nanghina ng konti, no? Talagang ininda niya po yung tatlong solid punches na tinamaan na tumama sa kanya. The crowd egging on Pacquiao.
Enjoying the action now.
That's
Pacquiao
right.
has been able to land that left repeatedly. Kasi bumababa yung kanan ng kamay ni ni Desierto.
Maganda so far ang timing ni Pacquiao.
Oh, very, very well timed yung kanyang kaliwa. Although Desierto that time connected with a nice right hand.
Good fight between these two boxers. Maganda. Sabayan, palitan.
Actually, may parang masamang bisyo ito si Pacquiao because he has a tendency to bring down his right arm. Pero ito si Desierto has not been able to take advantage of that. He should score with a left hook. Oy! Umayaw na! Umayaw!
Umayaw bigla! Umayaw bigla! Umayaw! Si Delo Desierto, sabi niya, ayaw na niya. The accumulation of the punches. Hindi man lang bumagsak ito si Desierto. Yes, hindi. Pero nasaktan na siyang masyado sa gulpi sa katawan at sa mukha. Hindi na niya kaya, mga kaibigan. That's a surprise! A big surprise. He just turned his back on his opponent.
Hardly 1 month later, Pacquiao scored a 6-round decision over Flash Simbaon. He followed this up with a 3-round knockout over Armand Rocio, after which he was matched against Lorito Laroa in an 8-round bout in Makati. Provincial fight fans got their first close look at the increasingly popular young fighter in Puerto Princesa, Palawan, when he clashed with Renato Mendones. It was a stunningly aggressive performance by Pacquiao.
He has a record of 11 wins, 3 by knockout, 8 losses.
Round number 2 coming up in a fight that is scheduled for 8. Pacquiao in the white trunks, Mendones in the Thai boxing pants. Fairly even first round. Probably Mendones had a slight edge.
I would think so. I thought Mendones connected with more blows, volume of punches, going to Mendones' side. You see Mendones stalking Pacquiao. Pacquiao trying to work behind that right jab.
Yes, he's got a sound. Yes, Pacquiao has got a good left. He's got a powerful left. He looks very, very young. He looks like a kid.
Yes.
Well, he's 18 years old.
18, yes.
Yeah.
But much more experience if you see Mendones.
The way he moves, you can say that he's more experienced.
Yes.
But Pacquiao waiting, flicking the right and waiting to throw that big left of his. Good left again. Pacquiao on the ropes. Good left again. Pacquiao dances out of trouble very nicely. The crowd likes that.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful left by Pacquiao.
He connected that time.
Slash on the face of Mendones.
Yes.
Knocked out.
There's another one. Pacquiao seems to be winning this
Oh,
round.
good combination. Oh, another good left by Pacquiao, but Mendones comes back. Pacquiao caught him with the left flash on the face. Left and right by Pacquiao, but he got hurt with the right. Mendones fighting back. Mendones moving in. Yes, Mendones caught him with the right and hurt him.
Yes. And that's why Pacquiao is leaning against the ropes. Pacquiao was defensive.
Yes, Mendones caught him with the right that time and hurt him.
Now, Akon has been open, and I saw referee Sylvester Abinza raise up his fist, meaning that a...
He's in trouble.
Mendones almost out of his feet. Rubbery leg. Oh my gosh.
What a punch.
Yes, just one blow.
One punch flash on his face.
There's blood on the nose of Mendones.
Mendones is in
could go
trouble.
down.
He could go down. Pacquiao fighting. Yes.
Mendones could go down again.
Yes.
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao
Taking his
is...
punches. Mendones forced to hold on.
He's getting hammered.
Mendones doesn't know where he is.
He's almost down again.
Pacquiao being off.
Oh, Mendones is getting a bad beating. He's getting a bad beating. He's battered. He's bewildered.
Pacquiao looking for a knockout blow. He cannot seem to find the knockout blow. Mendones is hanging on. A lot of time left.
He
30
lost his
seconds to
mouthpiece.
go.
Another left. Mendones is in a whole lot of trouble.
But Pacquiao cannot
Pacquiao
seem
hit
to
him with
find.
everything. He's a bloody mess.
He's looking for a coup de grace, and he cannot find.
Yes, it's
No, he
over.
stopped it.
It's over.
Abinza
It's over.
stopped the fight. And Manny Pacquiao remains unbeaten. He has survived the first big test
What a
in his
fighter.
young professional career.
What a fighter.
After a 3-round TKO of Rodolfo Fernandez, Pacquiao took on veteran Rolando Tuyugon and beat him in a 10-round bout. He then scored a 5th-round TKO over Lito Torrejos in Sucat, Parañaque.
PBX number 7, flyweight. Artist number 8, flyweight.
This is round number 5 of our San Miguel Beer main event. Manny Pacquiao in white and Lito Torrejos in yellow. Action-packed fight. Pacquiao unbeaten in 10 fights. Very impressive young fighter. But like you said, Kinito, you're very correct. He needs a haircut. Because that's spoiling his vision. And you know, another thing, when your hair is down like that, and it gets oily, and you can cut.
Yes.
The punch can, and because of the hair, you can cut.
Also the perspiration
Good left.
sometimes accumulates in the hair. will drip down the hair strands and into your eyes, and you don't want that.
Pacquiao connected with 2 good lefts there. Dancing around now. Trying to play around with Torrijos.
Well, he's teaching Torrijos now a nice, neat boxing lesson.
Torrijos continue to fight
yes,
wildly.
Barely missed that time. Torrijos again charging in. Torrijos now beginning to connect with that right jab. That's the jab that we were talking about in the early going. A little wild that time with that left lunge.
Oh, good right.
Yes.
Torrijos.
And he got Pacquiao backpedaling that time.
Looping right hand. Now, a low blow. Pacquiao now trying to box Torrijos. Leads with the left, flash on the face, then dances out of trouble. Torrijos backs off. Pacquiao cracks him with the left. With a flurry of punches to the midsection.
Pacquiao going upstairs and downstairs. I think Torrijos is all bloodied.
Yes.
I think there's another cut on his face. And Torrijos actually told the referee to stop it for a while. There's more blood on his face. And I think this time,
Now he says
it's a headbutt.
This referee is for the birch. I mean, he doesn't know what happened. Huh? The fighter tells him to look at it, and then he says it's a headbutt.
I think the referee will stop it because it's over the eye. Now it's the 4th round, so they will go to the scorecards. Under the Games and Amusements Board rules, they will go to the scorecards if the fight is stopped because of a cut inflicted by a headbutt after the 3rd round. The referee making, the ringside physician making sure, taking a look at the eye. There's a lot of damage. It's a deep cut. I have a suspicion they'll stop it. The ringside physician is stopping it. He is stopping the fight.
And a roar from the fans.
Now, I also understand. Well, madideduct yan si Manny Pacquiao, ha?
Sino itong referee?
Rudy Dalisay.
He seems totally lost.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen here. Because,
We'll see. We'll see what
I think there should be a point deducted from Manny Pacquiao because he inflicted the damage because of that butt.
Well, that's what the referee said, you know. But he didn't obviously see the butt because it was Torrijos who pointed to it.
Let's see what Bobby Mondahar says. Let's see what the scorecards say. Okay, let's hear it now from Bobby Mondahar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the 5th round. Winner by technical decision, Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao has been declared the winner.
With an 11-0 record and fans beginning to crowd around him as though he was a champion, Pacquiao became a little too cocky for his own good and paid the price when he suffered a shocking 3rd-round knockout against hard-hitting Rustico Torrecampo.
He has a record of 11 wins, 4 by knockout, undefeated.
Pacquiao in white, Torrecampo in blue. Torrecampo has carried the fight to Pacquiao.
Oh! Pacquiao! He's out! It's over! Oh my gosh! It's one punch! Manny Pacquiao cannot get up! It's over! Manny Pacquiao! It's over! Cannot get up on time! Over! It's over! Manny Pacquiao! One punch and his eyes are crossed! His eyes are crossed! Torrecampo! Oh, coming out of nowhere! Manny
Pacquiao, his eyes are crossed.
You know,
What a punch!
he got him flush on the mouth.
Oh my gosh!
The setback against Torrecampo was one of the turning points in Manny Pacquiao's young career. He realized that overconfidence and cockiness were a dangerous thing. He wanted to make amends and prove to his fans that it was a minor setback on the road to greatness. 2 months later, on April 27, 1996, Pacquiao was matched against Marlon Carrillo in a 10-rounder. It was a tough test against Carrillo, who had 31 fights. Pacquiao prevailed by a unanimous decision. Back-to-back technical knockouts over June Medina and Bert Bapillier set the stage for Manny's first major test against a tough foreign opponent, Ipo Gala of Indonesia. Pacquiao demolished Gala in just 2 rounds to the delight of fight fans.
He has a record of 31 wins, 10 by knockout, 6 losses, and 4 draws.
This is Blow by Blow, your feature on Asia Fight Night on ESPN. Reaching you from Mandaluyong City, the Mandaluyong Sports Complex. Manny punches by Manny Pacquiao. Going to the head now. Manny Pacquiao pouring in.
It's an all-out attack by Manny Pacquiao. Ipo Gala doesn't have the opportunity to fight back because he's covering up.
He's being pummeled by Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, he's being overwhelmed by Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao again with the right-left combination. And Ipo Gala.
Now, occasionally, Ipo Gala sneaks in that left hook. Oh, but Manny Pacquiao is so precise and accurate with those long bombs. A clubbing blow coming from Ipo Gala.
Looks like Ipo Gala, Querido, is a bit wary of unleashing anything in close quarters. Wary that Manny Pacquiao might come back with a flurry such as what is happening now. Ipo Gala is now being cornered. And Manny Pacquiao punching at will. Ooh. Ipo Gala goes down.
Ipo Gala saying, I was motioning to the referee that it was clubbed in the back of the head. When he went down, taking the mandatory 8 count, that's the first knockdown in the fight.
Here in the second round of the scheduled 10-rounder, Manny Pacquiao not letting up.
It's all-out aggression here, coming from the 19-year-old boy.
Good left again by Manny Pacquiao. And Ipo Gala coming up with only 1 out of about 10 unleashed by Manny Pacquiao.
The Indonesian is soaking up a lot of punishment.
Ooh, there's another left. Indonesian still gallantly on his feet, but he is not fighting back and he's turned his back. And the referee will stop the fight. So the jubilant cheers of the Filipino crowd here at the Mandaluyong Sports Complex.
Manny Pacquiao was beginning to demonstrate the awesome punching power that is his trademark today. A second-round TKO over Sung Yul Ki of South Korea, a first-round knockout over Michael Luna, and a first-round KO of Wook Ki Lee, followed by a 6th-round TKO over Ariel Austria, indicated Manny Pacquiao was ready for his first title shot at the Orient Pacific Boxing Federation crown held by Chokchai Chokvirat of Thailand.
Korea's rated number 2 flyweight. He has a record of 8 wins.
Bell for round number 2. I think it's going to be a short night as far as this fight is concerned.
Well, Pacquiao hopes so. He got tagged that time.
And now the Korean is
getting
going
a little
after him.
cocky.
Yes. Korean caught him. Now Pacquiao tries with a thundering left uppercut.
Well, you know, it's a street ball. Now, both fighters are not showing too much ring technique. It's a street ball. They're just throwing everything they've got. But this is not a good workout for Manny Pacquiao.
Certainly not.
If he hopes to scale the ranks of the Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation ratings, he's got to show more technique, more poise. This is a street ball. Pacquiao pouring it on.
And the Korean definitely in trouble.
Well, the Korean is not showing too much offense.
He's trying to fight back in flurries, but Manny Pacquiao is swarming all over him.
Well, he's being overpowered here by Manny Pacquiao. The Korean now looks like a bloody mess.
Pacquiao going after the Korean once again, stalking him. The Korean's blood is on the face of Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But you know, Manny Pacquiao is missing a number of punches too.
He's so wild because he's looking for that power bomb. And you know, that's the sign of immaturity. This boy has a lot of talent, but he's got to be guided.
He's got a lot to learn. And you put any halfway decent flyweight against him, he's going to get knocked out.
That's true, because his defense is hardly there, and he's an all-offense type of fighter. What's going on?
There's a terrible...
Referee Danny Rodenas interrupting the fight, calling him in ring position.
There's a terrible lump on the nose is obviously
I think they're going to stop it.
They're going to stop
They
it.
won't stop it. They won't stop it.
I think his nose is broken.
Yeah. It might be a premature ending here, but there is that huge lump above the left eye of the Korean, and it was just too one-sided of a fight. Manny Pacquiao overwhelming his opponent.
PBF's number 6, PBF's number 1, Philippines rated number
Now
3.
Mike Luna has a ring record of 19 wins, 7 losses, 4 draws, won 6 by knockout, won by unanimous decision over Rushi Raymunda in Almendras, Davao City last November. Both fighters are southpaws.
Yes. As you said, Manny Pacquiao in white and Mike Luna in the midnight blue trunks, which will look black on your screens.
Pacquiao rated number 2 in the Philippines and Luna rated number 3.
Right by Luna from the face of Manny Pacquiao.
Now Pacquiao tends occasionally to get a little careless. He's a very flamboyant fighter. Sometimes gets a little cocky. And
That's how he lost.
Yes.
I think I covered that bout in the video.
But he's a very popular fighter.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, they ask for Manny Pacquiao. But he's young. He's colorful.
And he keeps busy inside the ring.
Except that I understand he's a great fighter, but he tends to get ill from time to time. In fact, he was supposed to fight some weeks ago, but couldn't fight because he was ill, and that's why he's fighting tonight.
Combinations being unleashed now by Manny Pacquiao.
Hard right to the body. Pacquiao,
Good right to that face
of Luna. He's going after Luna.
There he goes. There he goes. Flurry of punches delivered there by Manny Pacquiao.
I don't think he's going to go up.
No, he's not going to go up.
Pakistan boxing. It's over.
Yes. Big first round knockout victory here by Manny Pacquiao to the delight of the crowd here at the Sugan Sports Complex.
He has a record of 15 wins, 8 by knockout, 1 loss and 3 coming.
Interestingly, both have 17 wins and 1 loss.
That's true. Very, almost identical records, but Wookie Lee has 3 draws to his name also.
Wookie Lee in the kind of cream trunks with the red down the side. Pacquiao in purple.
Manny Pacquiao fighting flat-footed at this stage. Trying to create some tempo that with a right hand. He's the southpaw.
Wookie Lee speaks in the right. Pacquiao is one of the most popular fighters in the country today. Certainly a flamboyant boxer with a big punch.
He's very, very charismatic, and I think he's going out for the kill right here on the opening bell.
Pacquiao really.
He shows absolutely no respect for the Korean.
Wookie Lee goes down into the ring, through the ropes,
and I think that might have been a body shot.
Yes, it was.
A body shot, and Wookie Lee, I think, is just going to sit this one out. We're not even 1 minute into the fight. And that's it. It's over.
took a punch to the side of the body. He might have broken his ribs.
The OPBF champion had an impressive record of 34 wins as against only 2 defeats. Most boxing fans felt that Pacquiao's handlers had pushed the young man too soon into a title fight against a crafty and hard-hitting veteran. But Pacquiao rose to the challenge and in a battle royale won the title via a 5th round TKO, sending fight fans into a frenzy.
He has a tremendous record of 35 wins, 15 by knockout.
Manny Pacquiao certainly kept him busy with all those punches that Manny Pacquiao were throwing back in round number 3.
Pacquiao used good lateral movement to move away from Chok Chai, making it difficult for Chok Chai to find the angles to throw his straights and hooks.
Chok Chai going to the body and now to the base. Manny Pacquiao counters Pacquiao with the right and the left.
The dangerous thing here for Pacquiao is that if he stands still and engages Chok Chai into some kind of toe-to-toe fighting.
Well, you know that Chok Chai 3K battery packs a wallop in his punches, and you can good right there by Manny Pacquiao. Well, Manny Pacquiao is now engaging Chok Chai 3K battery in a punching match.
Well, this is a big gamble on his part.
Yeah.
As he's gaining in confidence here.
Well, he has hit Chok Chai several times, and now he tries to go in to finish it off, but Chok Chai 3K battery just shrugs it off.
Chok Chai too wily a veteran. And again, Manny Pacquiao using the ring to move away from Chok Chai. That's the right thing to do.
Yes, that's a smart thing to do. And he keeps sticking that right jab, then follows up with the left.
Low blow coming from Chok Chai, and referee Estrella telling Chok Chai to keep his blows above the belt.
Missed by Chok Chai 3K battery, but he's up and about in a flash as Manny Pacquiao tried to move in through that gap. Good right by Manny Pacquiao to the face of Chok Chai. Chok Chai trying to go to the body now. And a slip by Manny Pacquiao.
You know, that's the second time we've seen that. Manny Pacquiao, if he finds himself in a precarious situation where he wants the referee to step in, he kneels down.
Right.
And that forces, of course, Chok Chai to stop punching. Clever tactic, but I don't know.
Change of blows there between Pacquiao and Chok Chai. That right jab of Manny Pacquiao has been finding the mark time and again. Chok Chai battery has certainly delivered some very strong messages to Manny Pacquiao as far as the strength of his punches are concerned.
Well, I thought he hurt Manny Pacquiao that time with a right to the ribs.
Right.
And I don't think Manny Pacquiao can withstand relentless punching to the midsection for too much longer.
Well, you see the muscles rippling around the body of Chok Chai 3K battery, and you know, that's a sign that the telling blows from Chok Chai 3K battery can certainly inflict a lot of harm.
Take a look at some stats here of Manny Pacquiao, his weight, his height, and his reach. You know, I have a feeling that Manny Pacquiao is a little fragile in the midsection area.
I think Chok Chai also realizes that.
Yeah, and Chok Chai has been concentrating his attack towards the midsection. In that previous round, we saw Manny Pacquiao wince and actually double up a little as soon as he got hit in the pit of his stomach. Take a look at some action here. You see Manny Pacquiao going down to prevent Chok Chai from throwing some punches from close range during a clinch.
So the birthplace of Manny Pacquiao, General Santos City, where former champion, lightweight champion Rolando Navarrete also hailed from. And he was known as the bad boy from the Tiangas, which is the old name of General Santos City. It has produced several more famous Filipino boxers.
Manny Pacquiao keeping a steady pace with that right jab, peppering away at Chok Chai battery, keeping him off balance, preventing Chok Chai from moving in and attacking his midsection.
Chok Chai 3K Battery has shown to be the more deliberate fighter. And now goes to the breadbasket of Manny Pacquiao again. That one landed in the left elbow of Manny Pacquiao.
Chok Chai throwing some bombs at Manny Pacquiao.
He's starting to unload them, Ginita.
Yeah. And I think Manny Pacquiao is realizing that he can't get hurt by the Oriental champion. He has held the championship since 1993, and he had to go to Korea to take the championship from Chang Jae Kwon via a third-round knockout.
Chok Chai 3K Battery has certainly been able to hold on to that title against numerous contenders. This last one, Manny Pacquiao, is the #1 OPBF challenger, and you see him trying to be a moving target, staying away from the bombs that Chok Chai 3K Battery is capable of unleashing. Manny Pacquiao, who have to throw some more of his punches. Good left by Chok Chai to the side of the face, and again he goes to the body of Manny Pacquiao.
Now this is also going to be a test of stamina for Manny Pacquiao, whether he can continue with his pace of moving around and both fighters wrestling each other down in the canvas.
Manny Pacquiao led off with a left that hit the face of Chok Chai, but that was obviously a slip. And Manny Pacquiao immediately goes to work with a right-left combination to the face of Chok Chai. Good left and right by Manny Pacquiao.
And he's by Manny Pacquiao to the face.
Body flash on the right side of the head.
He's down, and I don't think he's going to get up.
He doesn't look too good.
He's slowly trying to get up. He is counted out.
Yes, Manny Pacquiao
is the new Oriental flyweight champion. And Chok Chai Battery down for the count, and Pacquiao.
A fifth-round knockout by Manny Pacquiao of the Philippines with a good left to the side of the face of Chok Chai 3K Battery. And 3K Battery is still wincing in pain as we see him slumped in his corner.
Unbelievable ending here. And we were just commenting how vulnerable Manny Pacquiao is to those punches to the midsection. But you cannot underestimate the power of a heavy hitter. And Manny Pacquiao, when he decided to stand his ground and engage Chok Chai Battery into some kind of toe-to-toe fighting, this is what happened.
There's that left that pummeled Chok Chai 3K Battery down to the canvas. See that again from another angle.
There was that blow. That left set it up.
Yes. That was the blow that snapped the head back of Chok Chai's 3K Battery.
Manny Pacquiao, tremendous victory. 8 of his 11 knockouts within the first 3 rounds. But this knockout came in the 5th.
Yes. And so, this is his 8th straight knockout in as many fights. Manny Pacquiao.
Now let's take a look at this again.
Look out for that left, right there.
It was just one punch, that solid left-hand punch that caught Chok Chai Battery smack on the face.
And Chok Chai could not get up. And right there, you see that left to the face of Chok Chai's 3K Battery here. He is certainly looking very groggy indeed. You see Mayor Ben Abalos raising the hand of Manny Pacquiao. And we will have the official announcement from our ring announcer, Bobby Mondial.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes and 46 seconds in the 5th round, scheduled for 12. We have a knockout, winner by knockout, Manny Pacquiao, the new OPBF champion.
In his first title defense, Pacquiao made short work of another tie. Day or Yutanakorn in just one round and then made Japanese fight fans sit up and take notice with a one-round TKO of Shin Terao in Tokyo. Just over 6 months later, Manny Pacquiao dared to challenge Thailand's World Boxing Council flyweight champion and national hero Chachai Sasaku, who was undefeated in 33 fights. Pacquiao knew how strong and talented his opponent was. He also realized that this was what he was after, a world title. Manny trained like never before. He jogged for miles around the PICC complex where he met the gentle giant Asi Taulava, who was also preparing to move into the big-time arena of the PBA. They jogged and worked out together, and in the process became close friends. Asi was certain that Manny would win and return home a world champion.
Manny is a dedicated person. He's dedicated to his job, his fighting career. And I know I wish the best for him in his career. That's why I'm saying, though, I watch him train and I watch how hard the guy works. And I know he wants to prove to everybody that he is the true champion.
It was December 4th, one day before the start of the Asian Games in Bangkok. As members of the Philippine Centennial basketball team and Filipino athletes crowded around the TV sets in the Games Village on a hot and humid afternoon at the Tongsuc College ground on the outskirts of Bangkok, Chachai Sasaku gave Pacquiao a boxing lesson for 6 rounds. But each time he got hit, the young Filipino grit his teeth, banged his gloves together, and moved forward relentlessly. Suddenly, Manny found an opening, and with one vicious punch turned the fight around in a dramatic fashion.
Well, he's got 24 knockouts in 33 wins.
And he is strong, make no mistake about it. This is round number 7 of champion in Thailand. But right now, I think Chachai is stealing the thunder from Pacquiao. Pacquiao going after him.
Well, you know, the other thing that we've noticed outside of kulang sa kombinasyon ito si Manny Pacquiao, hindi niya inaatake yung katawan ni Chachai.
Yeah.
He's headhunting. He has been headhunting from round number 1.
Ano yung
Parang
tactical
hindi
niya?
niya sinaset up yung kanyang paboritong target, which is the head. You need to be able to wear down the body, bring down the guard of Chachai so that he can provide the opening for the left hand to the head for Manny Pacquiao. Kita natin yung dalawang kamay ni Chachai, napakataas pa. This is round number 7. Yung dalawang kamay naman ni Manny Pacquiao, medyo nasa B1 na yan, no?
Pacquiao still appears to be very, very tense and very tight.
Yes, and unidimensional ang attack ni Manny Pacquiao. Going only straight for the head and using just one punch to try to steal this fight away from Chachai.
One punch has done it for many fighters, but in the flyweight division, it's going to be a little difficult. Especially with a fighter as strong and as powerful as Chachai.
And as quick. Magulang ito si Chachai.
Kulang talaga.
Meron pang bilis.
He's very shifty.
We were talking about the depth.
That time Pacquiao came in with a 1-2. He connected. Oh, he connected with a good right that time. Pacquiao got him. But that's why Sasaku comes back. Pacquiao's knocking it out with him.
But Chachai now moving away from Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao is very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. You got to give him credit.
Yes.
Oh, cracking him by Pacquiao. He rocked Sasaku that time.
A rocking shot to the jaw.
That hurt. With Manny Pacquiao can only cover that up.
And Chachai is coming back. He's coming back. What a champion this Thailander is. As Manny Pacquiao continuing to stop him.
Connects with another left. Sasaku against the ring. Manny Pacquiao let that chance slip by because he came in, he didn't follow up neatly, he followed up rather wildly.
And there's a combination from Chachai. Watch the uppercut of Chachai.
Chachai working to the midsection, yes.
Big weapon for Chachai in this fight. Another uppercut.
Chachai connects to the right and the left. Pacquiao covers up. Pacquiao waiting to throw that left hand of his.
Chachai sensing that Manny Pacquiao is slowed down. You notice that Chachai is not backing away. I think he's going for the kill in this round.
Pacquiao looking like him in the neutral corner. Chachai with a hard right to the midsection. That point is caught him.
Ito si Chachai. if he thinks...
Oh, cracking left by Pacquiao again.
I was just going to say, if he thinks that Manny Pacquiao is on the way down, he better be careful.
Another good combination by Pacquiao. And he caught him with a good right-left combination at the end of the bell, ending round number 7. That was a good one.
That was a good round from Manny Pacquiao. He showed aggressiveness, and I thought he won that round.
Yes.
คณะกรรมการจัดการเนี่ยยกต่อไปจะเป็นยกที่ 8 แล้วครับท่านผู้เกียรติตบมือดังๆอีกสักครั้งนะครับ
Here in Thompson College, ating program natin between Yaksha Yatsboy Jim and Manny Pacquiao. Ito panurin po natin, that left-hand shot thrown and connected by Manny Pacquiao.
But they have no time for that slow-mo.
Round number 8 na po tayo.
Number 8, Pacquiao continuing to start. Oh, he got Chachay with the left to the side of the body. Chachay stalking Sasako.
That was a very powerful shot coming from Manny Pacquiao.
Good combination that time by Pacquiao. Another good combination.
Pacquiao's throwing it on, giving it his all.
Chachay backing up. Good left by Pacquiao. He's just knocking it out there. Pacquiao going off the Chachay. Chachay. Oh, too long.
May look of anger ito sa Manny Pacquiao. Parang natatakot ito si Chachay.
He's got right and the left by Pacquiao. Hard right on the side of the body. And the right by Pacquiao.
But you notice in this round,
He's looking to the body and a right uppercut by Pacquiao. Chachay comes back and Manny Pacquiao going for broke here in round number 8.
Second win being shown here by Manny Pacquiao. Bago ito sinasabi natin kanina, kulang sa atake sa katawan. Ngayon, pinapakita ni Manny Pacquiao, meron pa
He walked into a right that time by Chachay. Pacquiao walking to the body now. You know, Chachay seems to be vulnerable in the body. Good left by Pacquiao, left and the right by Chachay. Good hard right by Pacquiao, but he gets caught with the left right from Sasako.
Partner at this stage, Chachay needs to beat Manny Pacquiao to the punch.
Now Pacquiao connects.
Aggressive.
Pacquiao connects, but nailed with the right. He's fighting back.
Pacquiao's got to be careful.
He's going up with Chachay.
May lakas.
Now. Chachay continuing to stop the Thai champion, throw the left hand under. Logic says like, you know, Sasako is a little worried.
But partner,
Chachay is a
this
little
fight
worried.
is turning into a street brawl. Ito sa round number 8.
Good right cross by Pacquiao.
And there's no backing away.
No backing. No,
Manny
this is
Pacquiao
thunder in
is
Thailand.
moving in. Chachay fighting back. Oh, what a brawl. What a fight.
Pacquiao continuing to stalk Chachay. Chachay looks worried, Filipo, despite the fact that he's coming with a regular back changes. Chachay was hurt by Pacquiao. Pacquiao stalking the champion.
Pacquiao's got to keep his focus. He's got to continue attacking the left.
Chachay left to the side of the head. Good left! And Chachay was dropped.
That's why he
Pacquiao
was
goes
dropped.
after him.
A nice left straight thrown by Manny Pacquiao. Chachai's mouth is open. That's not a good sign.
Going after him. Pacquiao is going in trouble. Pacquiao, he's down! He's down! Pacquiao is down! Pacquiao! Pacquiao is down! He's out! He's not going to get up! Pacquiao is out! He's not going to get up! 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 What a courageous fighter! What a courageous fighter!
Manny Pacquiao scoring a sensational knockout.
Look at Chachai. Chachai destroyed Jim. He can't get up. He is not going to get up. I told you we hurt him early in the round.
What a display of guts
What a
by Manny
fantastic
Pacquiao.
fight, man.